Good morning. Happy Wednesday. I have Neuro Coffee in hand and it is perfect. All right. Well, it is Wednesday. That means that tomorrow's Thursday. That means 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Coffee and Coaches Conference call as usual. Great calls, great people. Grab a coffee. Join us for some Q&A. These things just get better and better. Great questions. Very deep discussion last week, so it was kind of unusual and fun all at the same time. Please join us for that. Okay, digging into today's Q&A, this is with Teja. Teja has a really common question, actually, that I think is going to be useful for a lot of people. We're talking about the dreaded winging scapula. So we're blaming the scapula for a lot of things that it's not its fault. What we have is a thorax that's changing shape. We have a thorax that's moving away from the scapula. Scapula is looking for a place to land, so to speak. And so we get a lot of muscle activity that's associated with this that's going to produce an appearance that makes the scapula appear more prominent. So that's why the attention gets drawn there. The solution is not to pick on the scapula so much as it is to worry about thoracic shape change. So we kind of cover that ground. We kind of show you how this thing evolves so you have an understanding of it, and then you can provide the appropriate solutions. So thank you, Teja, for this question. It is awesome. Like I said, going to help a lot of people. If you would like to participate in a 15-minute consultation, please go to askbillhartman@gmail.com, askbillhartman@gmail.com. Put 15-minute consultation in the subject line so I don't delete it. We'll arrange that at our mutual convenience, and please remember to include your question in the email. Everybody have an outstanding Wednesday. I will see you tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., Coffee and Coaches Conference call.
I just wanted to go over something that has been a little bit confusing, and it's regarding the winged scapula presentation. So, and as I observed with most of my clients, the right one is more, I would say, winged than the left one. And in my understanding, I see that due to the right turn, the tissue and musculature on the right side is concentrically yielding, so it's winged a little bit. But in one of your videos, you say that the winged scapula is a compressed thorax, so it doesn't go together with my understanding of how or why is winged scapula connected to the compressed thorax.
Well, what if we quit blaming the scapula for just doing what it likes to do, and let's blame the appropriate structure. Okay. So can we just change the name?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Can we just call it a compressed thorax?
That's the thing I'm not getting. If it's
wait a minute. Okay. Let's go back to our, I think Ivan's question about looking at this through time. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Can both sides of the thorax be pushed forward, but at different rates?
Yeah.
Okay. So would that make something look more expanded on one side than the other?
Yeah.
But they could still be compressed forward, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what do your measures tell you?
If they're both compressed forward?
Yeah. It's like, so what measures will be reduced if I am pushing the thorax forward? Okay.
Well, shoulder flexion and
Okay.
ER.
ER. Yeah. What else?
Well,
You got one more ER measure that you could probably use as a guide.
shoulder flexion.
Well, we already talked about flexion, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
the abduction.
Yeah. Yeah. So you've got 3 ER measures that have to be normal for you to have a normal dorsal rostral behavior,
Mm-hmm.
right? Any of those in deficit, would it be indicative of the fact that you don't have normal expansion in that area?
So what gives me the winged look of the scapula?
The thorax is pushed forward, okay, away from the scapula.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just, I just see that if someone has the right scapula winging or compressed thorax, let's say, but we're all turning to the right,
Yeah.
I just see that there's more space between the left scapula and the left thorax than the right.
Yeah.
So, but I'm guessing that you're telling me the right side is still pushed forward and compressed.
Thorax. Yes.
Okay.
Well, so what do you think the response is going to be? If I push your right side forward, okay, what will be the response on the other side?
Well, it would turn to the others. If you push my right side forward, I would.
When I say other side, I mean front. I'm sorry, to be clear. If I push you from the back, what's the front going to eventually do?
Go forward.
Okay.
Oh, push back.
Okay. What pushes back?
Compression. No.
What? Give me a muscle name that pushes back.
Pectoralis minor.
Awesome. Okay. Where does the pec attach? Does it attach to the joint?
To the coracoid process.
Okay, that's pec minor. Okay.
Oh, you mean the major?
Yeah. Where's pec major attached?
To the humerus.
Okay. Does it directly control the fluid shift in the shoulder joint?
Directly, no, but.
Okay. All right. So it doesn't. So it's going to pull the humerus forward, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so if I don't want to walk around like this with my shoulder pushing forward like that, what would be a strategy that I could use? How can I pull this back so it's hanging down by my side?
Pushing the thorax.
What if, so the whole shoulder girdle got pulled forward. Here, let me turn sideways so you can see it.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I get pushed like this, okay, that would turn everything inward. You see that? Okay. So now I don't want to walk around with my arm hanging in front of me all day. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. How do I bring it back? Don't retract. Don't retract. That's a lousy representation because you can't move like that.
You push the thorax from
So
behind.
do this for me. Do this for me. Can you stand up? Okay. All right. So push the whole shoulder girdle forward like I just showed you. Okay. Now, all I want you to do is externally rotate your shoulder from that position. Oh, hello. What happened?
Well, the whole extremity moved backwards.
Okay. Did it move backwards or did it just ER and you turned your scapula relative to your humerus?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So you moved the scapula, the medial border of the scapula away from the thorax, didn't you? There it is.
Okay.
You see the strategy? And this is why you start to see those representations. It just becomes more concentric activity. I get concentric here. I got to get concentric there because I have to create turn. All I have is turns. Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You see it now?
A little bit more clearly, for sure.
Yeah. Well, because the scapula is going to try to create, it's going to try to continue to produce pressure against the rib cage, right? Because again, if I let my shoulder hang there, it is really uncomfortable because I don't have, I'm going to try to compress the humerus into the socket to hold it in position. That's how you control that, right? Okay. And so again, if I get pulled forward by that pec because of the anterior compression, so the thorax has already been pushed forward. You understand that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. and then it's getting pushed back. And so I don't have any more back and forth, right? And I got to compress the scapula against the rib cage. The only way that I can do that is I'm going to take the I don't have my scapula here. The lateral border of the scapula can still put pressure against the rib cage, but to do that, I have to ER the proximal humerus, and that's going to lift the medial border away from the rib cage. But it's not the scapula's fault; it's still compressing against the thorax.
Okay, now, yeah.
A turn. It's a turn. Right? The representation of winging, because they looked at the scapula and that's what kind of catches your eye. You go, wow, that scapula looks funny. Nobody ever said, wow, that thorax looks funny because it's not moving back to the scapula like it's supposed to.
So when someone would show both scapulas winging, so he's really pushed forward on both sides.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You can make an assumption that you've got a lot of anterior posterior compression. Okay, you're not going to have a whole lot of IR available to you. Okay, because you've got the anterior compressive strategy that stole your IR in the first place, and then you created there's your this is now the shoulder girdle. It's not the hip anymore. Okay, we got shoulders, right? That are ERing proximally.
Okay, now I get it. I just looked for the space where you could turn into. So you oriented, okay, the humerus. Thank you.
There you go. But see, when you get something like this, Teja, when you get something like this, the stuff that'll show up, number one, you're going to have like the old school impingement tests. For the shoulder, all of them will be positive. You'll get medial elbow pain. You'll get lateral wrist pain and carpal tunnel, and all of those other little IR compensatory strategies. Okay, so beware. Like don't get distracted by the don't blame the scapula. It's literally trying to just stay home, and everything keeps moving away from it, right? So all it's trying to do is trying to stay against the rib cage.